Hi everybody, so we just finished challenge truck prep for the competition tomorrow. While we got a few minutes spare, decided to put the Freelander up on the ramp because it's got an MOT on Wednesday. So I had a bit of a scan around it and I found a bit of an issue. So we've got a bit of a hole here. It's not nothing major, so I'm just giving it a bit of a clean up. I'm just going to plate that ready so that we don't have to worry about any more work for the MOT. I also know we've got an issue with the brake light, so we've got to do a repair to that. But apart from that, it looks good underneath. Did the brakes the other week, so it should be good to go. So I'm going to crack on and prep this and we'll weld a bit of a plate over it.
Making it bigger.
Try and get rid of the rust. Okay, so we just need to plate the hole. So I'm going to bend up some metal. So this area here is all rotten and needs replacing, so we'll replace all that there and right down to here, and then we can weld a new piece in, bend it up and round there, and that'll do a nice little job.
Are you getting rid of all of that?
Yeah, I'm going to cut that out. I'll run the grinder in here
and cut all of that
and
out.
cut that out square, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark up a bit of plate so that we know roughly what we're dealing with. That's first bend. Now that we know where that one is, mark this one. That's going to be somewhere in the region of there. This one bends the opposite direction, so we need to actually mark the other side of the plate. So the easy way is just to look at it there and put a pen mark on the back of it. And just line marks up on the little V in the hand folder. That should give us our little plate that's going to create the new sill.
Wait, hold that up nicely.
So that's our new section of sill. So what we can do is work out where it's going to be the best place to cut it. So I'm probably going to do it across there. Not worried about being dead on the line.
And
So we'll weld that round. I'll weld that in there and then I'll hammer this around the corner to create the new shape, and we'll weld down there. So this is where the plate fits now. around there. It goes up there. So what I'll do is I'm going to just nip out a section of this so that it gets rid of all the rust as it is. So this is weld through primer, so it just means there's a bit of protection on the metal on the inside. So obviously we've exposed loads of metal and made it all bare, so we just want to make sure there's some sort of paint. Punch a row of holes along here and then I can plug weld through them. And that's that. So this is ready to weld on now. And I'll trim this to shape. When I get it tacked on, I'll hammer that round and I'll just cut it off and weld it when it's in. Might as well leave as much metal there as possible for that job.
So this is the prime paint again?
Yeah, just get a bit on it so that it's got protection before we put it in.
Where do you put your earth then, since you're working on the chassis?
Well, the theory is you're supposed to disconnect the earth off your battery because you can affect the electrics on the vehicle. I've never affected the electrics on the vehicle because I always clamp the earth right next to where I'm welding, and obviously it takes the shortest route back to the welder.
But can that be on the chassis, or has that got to be on a different part of the
The
car?
earth.
Yeah.
The earth, I'm going to clamp it to this metal plate that's nice and shiny and silver, so I can guarantee I've got a good earth on it. So I'm clamping this plate in here to weld.
Uh-huh.
So that plate is bare metal,
Yep.
so the earth will go onto that as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, right, okay. Did not know you could do that.
The only problem is, if it doesn't melt through, it doesn't always get a good weld, so I will try it and get a weld on there first to make sure that it's guaranteed welded to the vehicle, and then we'll shape it round and it will be clamped on. The truth is we need to disconnect the battery on this to try and reset it.
Yeah, we do. My mirrors have gone wonky. They went in and never came back out. Basically.
We did that when we got it, and I think I disconnected the battery and it fixed it. So. slap a bit of paint on it and a bit of seam sealer to stop any moisture getting in. And that'll make it good. So, job's good.
Do you have to wait for it to cool down, or can you do it now?
Dries the paint quite quick when it's hot.
It's not black. I was expecting it to be black.
Seam seal it first.
Okay.
So I'm going to put seam sealer on now, and that's just to seal it up. Once that dries, no moisture can get in, and it'll just hopefully give it a few more years. And that's the seam sealer. So just get a good slathering on the brush and we spread it round on there. Just make sure it gets in all them joints. Just make sure there's no chance any water is gonna stay in there. Might slap a bit of black paint over that when we're done, just to make it all look the same. I'm just going to put a bit on the other side. The other side's not rusted through, but it should just give it a little bit of life and a bit of protection. It's obviously got the original factory seam sealer's obviously got a bit damaged over the years, and I'm just basically replacing it by putting that on. Job done.
So now we've got the cursed backlight.
This light, the screw is damaged and won't come out. So I've got to sort of lever the bumper off to get to the bulb, to change the bulb.
Oh, seriously?
I could change the light fitting for a new one, but I just haven't bothered getting around to getting one.
No.
Trying to find the right side.
Is it not these ones? Is it the top ones? So?
No, it's this one that's playing.
Doesn't look broke.
You know?
Doesn't look broke.
It's this one.
It would be.
It was also doing it outside the house and fucking wet down, isn't it? See? It's not the ball.
Right.
very sort of charred.
Yeah.
Which means it's probably not been a very good connection. There's also a bit of green on the end of the terminals.
What does that mean?
And green's copper corrosion. It usually has a high resistance, which means it will stop the bulb working.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sure. Clever little fucker. They did it, didn't they? Oh, thank God for that. They've been annoying me for ages. And that's all it took. That was like that since bloody Peterborough Land Rover show.
Don't press the button again.
Right, talk up.
Headlights. The headlights and stuff.
They worked. Oh, the headlights.
Side lights, main beam, indicators, fog lights. Side lights. Did it? Just turn your lights on. You haven't, you're on side lights. You need now main beam. Dip. Indicate left. Indicate right. Left again. Brakes. Fog lights. Indicators. Brake. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully we've gone through and done enough things there to check and make sure it'll pass its MOT. So God only knows, we'll find out on the day. But we've tidied up a few issues that it's had, so hopefully it won't have any more problems on the day.
It was a pig of a job. Pig of a job.
Yeah, so the bulb holder was knackered on the back, so we had to do an emergency run round scrapyards to get something. But we managed to source something and it's done, so job done.
There's a Freelander up and running again, and there's the challenge track on the trailer ready for tomorrow.